Okay, maybe third time is the charm. I keep trying to do this, and I keep getting into, like, the doom and gloom narrative. So, rather than demand reality be in your face, let's see what else can come up. So, asking for balance, bringing reality into the dream state so we can bring about something else other than what's happening on the planet right now. And that comes with community work. Taking your services out into the community. Bartering, making sure people have what they need. Keep moving, keep going. Yeah. So if you're afraid to go out to talk to your neighbors and get involved in that community, you know, if you live in a snowy area, try shoveling their sidewalk or snow blowing their sidewalk. You know, checking on the people that you know are elderly, just making sure, knocking on their door with maybe a little bit of tidbit of food, because it's hard to survive on what they're given right now. Although I think Social Security went up for the elderly only. They're looking to penalize the disabled right now. So they're leaving the boomers alone, but they are definitely penalizing the vulnerable, the disabled. So if those people are in your environment, check and make sure that their families are well supported right now. Bring them a little bit of grub if you can. If you can't, you can't, right? Just, you know, write them a little note on a piece of cardboard. Whatever it is, okay? Spread the little love and light that you can. And no, I don't mean that in a religious way. Okay. Merry Witchmas, bitches. Okay. Let's take our wisdom out into the community. We've been cultivating it. I know you have. You wouldn't be here. You would not be here if you hadn't cultivated some wisdom. The algorithm doesn't work that way. So, little care packages to brighten somebody's, and it could be, you know, some candles, some extra hand soap, prevent some diseases, whatever it is, whatever you got going on, right? I got a couple gentlemen that are kind and help us snow blow the driveway and whatever else, and so they're getting a bunch of soap for Christmas. I'm sure they'd much rather have challah bread. That's okay. The mood has not gotten me yet. Watch house. Watch house. And like, it doesn't have to be something that I'm suggesting. It could be anything. Give them a coupon if you know, if you're like a mechanic or something. One time glance over your car, whatever. If you are a construction person, whatever you're, you know, whether it's, I don't know if I want to say plumbing, but anybody can attach a snake to a drill and run it down a hose. But if you're elderly, you're going to have a little bit more tricky. It's a two-person job. I should say that. It's definitely a two-person job. So, something like that. Anything that just lets them know, hey, I'm available. And I can help out when I can help out. Right? And I know that the vast majority of the freaking YouTube population is like, don't give anybody anything. They're lying, cheating whores. All of them. Ew. No, when somebody's in a crisis, an emergency, and you can help, and you're able to help, that's the reason why you're put here. Why would you not? Because they were a dick and blah blah blah. Well, okay, then don't pass it out to the dick then. Pass it out to the nice people in the neighborhood, okay? Like, there's a couple of neighbors I'm not, not gonna be giving things to, and that's fine. So whoever, is a kind-hearted person, that their energy is good and whatnot, give today. Remind your community that there's people out there in the neighborhood that are not assholes. If nothing else, it's just reminding people that the world isn't as dark and bleak as one might like to have to believe because of social media. Okay? Okay. What else? Ah, yes. May the billionaires eat maggots, darling. Curiosity of water in the reverse. The moon and the 4 of air in reverse. Okay. Curiosity of fire in reverse. 4 of earth in reverse. No shit. The wheel of fortune in reverse. Okay. So the 4 of earth and the moon are upright, right on top of each other. I'm not going to flip the camera today because it's such a pain in the you-know-what. I did not know how this was going to go, but here we go. Okay, so... back to the billionaire thing. We need to be more conscious of having our head in the sand when it comes to the subconscious undercurrent of the people making us restless in the world, creating this. They're creating this. Their whatchamacallit's been corrupted, right? Because they have their head in the sand. Okay. Merry Witchmas, darling. Merry Witchmas. Okay, so curiosity of fire. The 4 of earth in the upright and the wheel of fortune in reverse. Okay, so what there's... this is... you know what this says to me? This says somebody put a freaking stick in their own wheel. Let's hope it's the billionaires, because obviously they're feeling a little bit fucking 4 of Pentacles right now. Let's... I think one of the second richest dude has got $270 billion. An obscene amount of lifetimes spent not being able to spend that much money. 5 of water in reverse. Okay, so they can't see what they're doing to themselves here. They can't feel it. They can't sense it. The subconscious undercurrent is completely taken over, and now they want to make the world restless. Why am I reading for billionaires? That makes me want to throw up in my mouth a little. Okay, anyway. As I burp. Okay. I'm gonna have to wash that one out for just a second. Give me a hot moment. Just give me a second. I gotta get that taste out of my mouth. Okay. Ugh. Burnt frog. Okay. 10 of fire in reverse. Putting down what doesn't belong to you. I'm going to place that right on top of the read. Because what I asked for before I drew the card, I apologize, is how the hell are we going to deal with this shit? 9 of earth in the reverse. Aha. Okay. Now I'm not saying that, like, we demand their Pentacles. I'm saying that we build different structures entirely that don't involve having to slave away for billionaires to poison us and control us, surveil us, whatever the hell it is, right? And the velocity of Earth in reverse. Yeah, stopping the whole fucking system is what it feels like. Okay. So the 9 of Earth is over the Moon and the 4 of Earth, which says to me that the hijacking of our subconscious is somehow informing us that we don't have enough when we do. Trying to put us in scarcity mindset. Well, no shit. I'm hearing this chariot gotta go in a different direction. So, the reason why, because this is what's coming up. The reason why the fascists don't like commies is because that's a dumb idea. And it is. It's a dumb, stupid. Why would you give a system that you know is corrupt all the things? They have 2 words for you. North Korea. That's why. To think. So, yeah. Not giving the powers that be all the things. And instead creating systems and structures where everybody has a purpose, everybody has a place, and everybody's inherent nature is given a fractal system to operate in without a hierarchy. Hierarchy is genocide. Want to fight about it? Okay. Just so we're clear on that. So when you believe that somebody else has power over you, your life, what you say, what you do, yada, 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 you're in a lot of trouble. Because you're not going to want to pipe up if that authority figure is going to stop signing your paycheck, or that authority figure is going to report you to the people who sign your paycheck, or that authority figure can completely blacklist you from the tribe or the group or the whatever it is, right? See what I'm saying, Vern? They have made it impossible to get your own education without indoctrination. You can't get licensed as an herbologist in the U.S. It's forbidden. There's no program for it, which I'm kind of grateful for, because that was a nice little Saturn transit that said, it's not for me to claim authority over somebody else's body. It's for me to empower people and tell them, look, you have this modality. Bring it into your own system. Make sure you follow what's given to you. And then double check it with a few other people and sources in your community or in other communities. And then proceed from there. Okay? Being team rather than a complete and total sovereign independent. Teamwork is needed here. Oop, this one. Son of an earth, and then it'll grow. And I don't think it's going to grow slowly, because look at those pots. They're already full. Full of love. Roses. So I don't think this doesn't feel slow moving to me. I feel like whoever put their wishes, wants, desires, whatever out into the ethos has already gotten there, and it's coming back for harvest already. Not your typical read for 7 of Cups, but I don't like archaic narratives here, so we don't use them. Alright, and then in the cut, there's the velocity of water. There's your other chariot. I was like, Whereas there's only one horse leading the wagon. Granted, the wagon's only got 3 wheels instead of 4 this time, but the cover on it's getting a little heavy. So there's your second horse leading forward. The 5 of water in reverse and the velocity of water in the upright. So your losses here are just, okay, so let's gonna piss some people off. Buckle up, Buttercup, because I know when when it happens to you and you're in it, you're just like, what in the actual ever living, you know, all those colorful metaphors. So what we can take from that is a lesson, that B, we were not like, you know, how do I say this? That doesn't ignore the quantumness of it. Things can go so many different ways, and we have to remember we're always co-creating. We're not just springing forth our own manifestations. We're always co-creating, right? So like a lot of times when you want to manifest something, it takes a little bit to bring it because of all those energies that need to align with it. Okay. There needs to be an alignment of energies towards a focus. Okay. And that involves some time, some energy, some effort, and some calling on some assistance, right? Calling on some assistance. So, what I'm getting here is that these losses that you've perceived of are just the safety container in which you need to move forward. So rather than, how can I put this? I don't get along real good with a high vibe, love and light only community because they are manifesting some horrible shit and don't fucking care. So, and you'll see that anytime you try to talk to any of them about what they're doing in the world. They are so solidified that what they're doing is the only way to do it and the right way to do it and whatever else. And I'm like, did you take tally of the homeless people before and after the movement started? No? Well, that was unfortunate. Because everything has a counterpoint to it. When you send something out into the ethos, there's a counterpoint. There has to be a counterpoint. There's never not a counterpoint. The universe must be balanced. You don't get to avoid that. There's no willpower on the planet that negates universal law. It doesn't happen under any circumstances, for any reason, for anyone. Okay? This is why there's, gazillionaires need our consent, because the moment we start saying abso-freaking-lutely schnot, you need to stop. If you want my consent, you're going to have to get it in physical. You're going to have to get my physical permission to do harm to me, to have access to my energy to do that. You have to get my physical consent. And unfortunately, we give it to them all the time. We sign contracts, we make deals with banks, we get loans, we sign whatever the heck it is, right? We do all that stuff. And then we turn around and we make other people do it. Consent to my consenting. So we pile people on our consent of consenting and then can't figure out why XYZ is happening in our lives. So whatever it is you're consenting to. Paying a loan, having a house, all that good stuff, right? And again, my nose itches. Okay. So moving this forward, I think you're beginning to realize that the emotional toll that was designed with your subconscious here, the moon, is to override your subconscious, is to keep you in this state, right? The state of mourning, the state of grief, the state of not being in power and control of your own central nervous system. Okay? So this is what your chariot looks like to me. These are the two mechanisms moving the chariot forward. Okay. So the no longer being in distraught, being in despair, comprehending that the universe is instructing you how to be more present, how to be more in the moment, but consciously. So you can be sitting there fully present with whoever, in wherever, whatever it is, right? And not be diligent about the reality of the situation, right? Not be coordinating in your head how things could go if XYZ happens. And a lot of times when these things come into play, like major disasters and yada yada yada, we think it's a punishment rather than a redirection. So if you're grieving, grieve. Acknowledge how much you loved and adored and put all this energy and effort into whatever it was. And now the universe is saying, I need you to do that elsewhere. And that is enraging. And I completely comprehend that. Because you're like, why would have I invested all this if I knew you were going to move me? And they're going to say, that's why I didn't tell you I was going to move you, because I knew that you'd put your whole heart into it. Okay? And these, lovely, sorry, I tried to put this. These lovely little energies, there's your great trio. There's your magic house. There's how you make things happen. Okay? And sometimes, we use the intelligence and the heart space and the gut space, the sacral chakra space, to bring things about into new creation. Okay? That's why I say sacral chakra. You got two entities here, and you got a little one ready to move. Okay? So, 2 hearts. And then she's got a little pink rose. 2 hearts. Okay? And a little pink rose. And they got pointy hats on. So they know their point of reference. And one is dark here. One pillar's dark and one pillar's light. They're not poo-pooing the dark. And they're in nighttime, where everything is birthed. It's one more way to shame the feminine, right? One more way to make people scared of feminine energies and powers is demonizing anything that's dark, making it bad, ugly, wrong, right? So anytime any fear is installed, know that there's control and manipulation, shame, and guilt behind that. Anytime shame, guilt, fear shows up, you are being controlled and manipulated. Even if you're directing the finger back at yourself. So, and again, I'm just making the wild ass assumption there's no schmurderers watching right now. So, and again, if you have a system that's producing so much violence and so much, and it's not always violent. Sometimes it's self-sabotage that comes in and we do it to ourselves. If you have a system that's producing that, you can't figure that out as to why the entire population is under constant duress. You need to figure that out. You need to get to the root of it. Say, I don't think we should live like this anymore. And your subconscious undercurrent. Ooh, nice. Okay. So where you're headed with this newfound intel and ability I'm seeing. Notice between the dresses on the women, it almost looks like a castle. The way their sleeves are hanging, it looks like a fortress of some sort. Ooh, okay, that's gorgeous. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so where you're headed, this is going to lead the way. This is going to be the directive. This is going to be the directive. This is going to get left behind. No more worrying. No more sleepless nights. No more waking up in sweat. All finished with that. Be gone. Toodaloo. Okay. Moving to safer waters. And there's those roses again. Okay. Let's see. I gotta find it. There it is. I was like, where did I put it? Alright. Collective. Lovely little I Radiate Joy oracle cards. Ooh, hey, that's not supposed to be there. I was like, what is going on? Something feels funky. Something feels off. I couldn't put any... This is why I'm like, these cards are moving weird. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Alright. Well, and that's from a completely separate... on all my lives last night, I had like 4 different decks on the table. So... Or the desk. Where did I... Okay, there it is. Okay, so can I get this Knight of Pentacles in reverse clarified, please and thank you. My goodness me, this is gonna be a novel. All right, we've got 6 minutes to cover this shit. 6 of Fire in reverse, which is victory. 6 of Wands, the Hanged Man, Sovereignty of Water in reverse, Sovereignty of Fire in the upright, 2 of Earth in the reverse, Curiosity of Air in the reverse, Balance in reverse, and the 6 of Earth in the reverse. Okay, so the only things you have upright are the Hanged Man, the Sovereignty of Air. This is total stagnation, and you're getting pissed. Write down your grievances and burn them in a fire. New moon is January 3rd. Hold up, wait a minute. In where? In Cancer. So home-based, nurturing mother. You gotta... Okay. I mean, I feel like this is a lot of the population, but we got that last night too. Okay, so you're stuck in a spot. Some of you are. For some of you, before that stands, but right now, you're stuck in a spot. There's no equal give and take, no balance, no curiosity. The True of Earth, not even sending anything out into the ethos. The Sovereignty of Fire. Like, he's ready to go on his bike here. But you're being held back by the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Sovereignty of Water is the King of Cups. Pissed off AF. And then you've got the Hang Up. That's the Hanged Man. And the 6 of Fire. Okay, so you're seeing failure here as something that needs to hold you back. And you just need to write it down. You just need to write it down and let it go. Because failure is for learning, not for beating the crap out of yourself. Right? Okay, glad we found that narrative. So, and oftentimes society wants you to perceive it as a failure. Any way you can shame, blame, and control and manipulate yourself into self-sabotage, into self-pity, into self-wallowing, into why am I even here? If I'm capable of such things, how the hell? Yada, 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 right? So when we have that narrative, the self-forgiveness needs to come in first. And everybody else kind of needs to take a back seat to that. And that's hard for society to do. We are not a forgiving species for whatever reason. We're just not. We do not know how to access the heart space appropriately because our central nervous system is constantly being threatened. And the only way we can perceive to get that off of ourselves, to put out the fire, is to point the fingers in every single other direction. That's why a lot of influencers right now are getting nailed, especially the ones that were busy tearing down other specific people. The only people we need to be on ass about are the billionaires stealing all our shit. My self-esteem is growing day by day, and this is emotional. I am in tune with my feelings. Okay? So, because this whatever failure came in, you know, if you're in the vast majority of the people that lost their job because the government chose to be complete assholes, I don't think that's failure. I just think that this is a redirection and a learning process. And this is your chance to mobilize. To build a community that's actually sustainable, that no one has to constantly worry about this, that, and the other thing consistently all day, every day, and constantly has to slave away for a narrative that's so traumatic. Can't imagine why disease is overtaking and overrunning the giant population of the globe right now. It's a constant stress syndrome. The human species is not made for that. Everybody's all about hustle culture and have 3 jobs and, you know, mooch this and get that and like whatever it is. It's a constant state of trauma. That's the whole system basis. And then you get the jerk faces that are out there like, you need to get yourself out of your comfort zone. That's how I'm healing. Thank you. So if you don't get yourself in states of trauma, you're a failure. Who the fuck? The only great thinkers that we know of are rich old white men. I love you. Keep your flame. Dead men to